you doing? Yep. Today we're gonna be talking about stress. We're gonna be talking about stress. We're gonna be talking about stress busters. Yes, today we're gonna be talking about 7. How many? 7 different types of stress busters. Now, I want you to remember this. Remember this. The way we bust stress is we put a label on it and then we process it. I know it sounds crazy, like, what? How do you label stuff and process it? People do it every day. Ketchup, the mustard. You know what I'm saying? You gotta catch up. What? You got the mustard. Sometimes my jokes ain't funny. But we gotta label things. And when you label things, you can process it. And today we're gonna label 7 different types of stress busters. So the first one is dealing with mental health care. We're going to start with your mind because as a man, thinking so easy. So I want you to start with your mind. Mental health care. What kind of things can you do to show your mind that you care about your mind? For me, I take time to think about stuff. I take time to realize when I'm overwhelmed with different things. I try to make sure that I get myself in a position so I can process what I'm thinking about. I gotta label those things so that I can address those things. You see, I have to realize that that's good for me and that might not be good for me. Dealing with my mental health care. And I'm gonna tell you something. When you take care and you activate the care, you utilize the care, then you can be careful, full of care and experiencing care when it comes to that lane. And so we're talking about lane number 1, mental health care. Yeah, think about it. Now, stress buster number 2, peace. Stress buster number 2. Yes. And I'm gonna call stress buster number 2 supportive relationships. How many times when you call a friend, to listen? You call a friend to help. You call a friend to share about what's going on. What should I do next? Supportive relationships. Not just relationships, but supportive relationships makes a difference. Alright? So stress buster number 2 is to make sure you establish, that we establish supportive relationships. Yeah. Stress buster number 3. Alright. Mind, body, and soul. Stress buster number 3. What does this triad look like? Well, no matter what you do with your mind, body, and soul, you always need this stress buster. It is not just sleep. It is quality sleep. Don't just say it. Quality sleep. When you get into the healing state. And so if you have to get, I got reading machine. They help me. I ain't want to say it, but I got things to help me to experience quality sleep. You gotta make sure that you're in the proper time, get the proper rest in, get the proper hours, 6 to 8 hours. You gotta make sure that you have the proper tools so that your body can begin to restore itself to do what it needs to do. So stress buster number 3 is quality sleep. Alright, I'm back. Stress buster number 4. Can you throw them foes up? Stress buster number 4. And this is what, look, you gotta have a proper balance. You are what you eat. What are you consuming? What is your nutrition? You see that? That is nature's medicine for your body. What are you eating? What do you need to be eating? Have you had an opportunity to do a blood analyzation to understand what you're putting in your body? What your body is requiring. You see that? The proper balance. Say that with me. Balance nutrition. You see that? If you take 4 ingredients, boom, you balance it out with 2 by 2. What am I thinking or what am I doing? What am I doing in my mind? What am I thinking? What am I doing in my mind? What am I doing and thinking and releasing? What am I doing? What am I releasing in my moment? You see that? Yeah. Stress buster number 4. Alright, I'm back. Look, give me a high 5. Stress buster number 5. So then we're doing 5. Stress buster number 5. That's right. See how my hand moving? You gotta get some physical activity. That means you gotta get up, get out, and do something. What are you doing? What are you doing to get that physical activity? Where you doing it at? How often are you doing it? Your physical activity to bust that stress. That's what I want to know. But these are questions you need to be answering to yourself, because I'm gonna be answering these questions to myself. So remember, you gotta get up, you gotta get out, do something, evaluate what you're doing, and do it often. Get that physical activity to bust that stress up. I'm back. Stress buster number 6. Alright? It's mindful practices. What are you thinking about? How are you using your mind? Are you solving problems? Are you thinking stuff through? That's a stress buster. To be able to have the capacity to think past something. It's also a stress buster. So you have to be mindful to think past where you at and think right to where you want to go. That's a stress buster. Mindfulness practices. That's right. Do them often and do them mindfully. Think past. And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stress Buster number 7. Now, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Stress buster number 7 is dealing with access to nature. Do you have access to hearing the wind blowing, shake the trees? Do you have access to hearing the water and the waves build up and crash? It's soothing, ain't it? Yeah. Do you have access to the rain falling on top of a tin roof? Soothing. Access to nature, watching the sunset, watching the different activities in nature. It does something to bust stress in life. And I want to let you know that you deserve to have these stress busters and to utilize these stress busters to bust the stress in your life. Ladies and gentlemen, we just went through all 7 of the stress busters. Mental stress busters, dealing with mental health care. We talked about supportive relationships. That's a stress buster. Quality sleep, that's another stress buster. Balanced nutrition. No, that makes some good sauce, put it on the ribs. Balanced nutrition is a stress buster. Going to the gym and getting reps in physical health is another stress buster. Mindful activities, physical activities. You see that? Access to nature. All these different things that I mentioned that we just went over, all of these are stress busters. So whenever you feel stressed, overwhelmed with something, realize that you have some tools you can use. Please consider these 7 tools that we talked about. And just figure out which one can you do at that point in time to be able to bust that stress. Pow! Yeah. Stress busters.